welcome to this deep dive. Today we're going to be exploring a topic that I know is close to your heart, the Ismaili Imamate.
It is, and we're going to be delving into an academic paper.
Okay.
It's called The Doctrine of Divinely Appointed Imams.
Oh, interesting.
Which explores, the whole history, the theology, the significance of this incredible lineage of imams. And, one of the things that makes this lineage so unique is this concept of Nass, a divinely guided succession process that ensures this continuous flow of spiritual leadership, which is really a cornerstone of Ismaili belief.
Okay, so let's start at the beginning then.
Right.
Hazrat Ali.
Yes.
This paper makes a really strong case for him being the divinely appointed successor to Prophet Muhammad.
Right. And it does so by, really kind of weaving together these arguments from the Quran, prophetic hadiths, even highlighting these, key events in Ali's life that really point to this very special role that he had.
It's almost like the paper's using all these different lenses to support this concept.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not relying on just one source or interpretation, but treating kind of a holistic picture of why Ali's leadership was divinely ordained.
Exactly. It's compelling the way they approach this. For example, they delve into Surah Al-Ma'idah, verse 5555.
Okay.
Which is known as the verse of Wilaya,
Yeah.
And it talks about the true wali or guardian being Allah, his messenger, and those who establish prayer and give zakat while bowing. Now, this is where the historical context becomes really, really crucial.
Yeah.
During prayer, there was this beggar who asked for alms.
Oh, wow.
And Hazrat Ali, in that moment, completely immersed in his devotion, right? He gives away his ring without even a second thought. This act of selfless generosity while bowing in prayer, it really solidified, I think, his embodiment of a true wali, It highlights, in a way, this divinely mandated leadership that he was meant to have.
Yeah, it's not just about words.
Exactly.
It's about action.
Yeah.
About embodying those principles in every aspect of life.
Exactly. And this is just one example. The paper goes on, right, to cite other verses.
Yeah.
Like 4.59, the verse of obedience, which urges believers to obey Allah, the messenger, and those in authority, right? Ulile Amir.
Now, this is where interpretations diverge.
Yes.
Right.
Exactly.
Because while some see Uli Amir as referring to any ruler,
right,
Shia scholars argue it specifically points to divinely appointed leaders.
Precisely. And you see Hazrat Ali, with his profound knowledge of Islamic teachings, his unwavering piety and his unique relationship with the Prophet, right?
Yeah.
He perfectly embodies that concept of divinely ordained authority.
Right. It's like each verse builds upon the last, creating this narrative about Ali's rightful place as the successor.
Yeah.
And then there's 33.33.
Yes.
The verse about the purification of al-Bayt, the Prophet's family.
The verse of purification. Yeah.
Right.
It carries immense weight.
It does.
Because it speaks to the elevated spiritual status,
Right.
The infallibility of the al-Bayt, which includes the Prophet, Imam Ali, Fatimah, Hassan, and Hussein.
And this ties directly into the Hadith al-Qisa, right?
It does.
Where the Prophet gathers these five under his cloak and declares them his al-Bayt.
Yeah.
This act, combined with the verse, kind of strengthens the Shia perspective on their unique spiritual standing.
Absolutely. It's this powerful affirmation, right, of their purity and their crucial role in guiding the Muslim community. But the Quranic evidence doesn't stop there.
Okay.
The paper also highlights the verse of proclamation, which is 5.67.
The one where the prophet's instructed to deliver what's been revealed to him.
Yes.
And it even says, and if you do not do so, then you have not delivered his message.
Exactly. That's the one.
Right.
And what makes this verse so significant is the timing.
See, it was revealed right before Ghadir Khumm.
Oh, wow.
This historical event where the prophet publicly declares Ali's leadership.
So the revelation of this verse essentially sets the stage for that pivotal moment.
It does.
Right. It really does.
And Ghadir Khumm, with the prophet's famous declaration, whomever I am, his Mawla, Ali is his Mawla.
Yes.
Becomes intrinsically linked to this divine command.
Yes.
To deliver the message.
Yeah. The connection is undeniable. It elevates Ghadir Khumm from a mere historical event, right?
Right.
To a divinely ordained moment.
Yeah.
Solidifying Ali's position as the chosen successor.
Right.
In the eyes of Shia Muslims.
And to talk it off, right after Ghadir Khumm, We have the revelation of 5.3.
Yeah.
The verse of completion. The timing here is just incredible.
It is.
It really is.
The verse that states, "Today I have perfected for you your religion, completed my favor upon you, and have chosen Islam as your religion." It's like a divine seal of approval.
Exactly.
Right.
The fact that Islam is declared complete
Right.
only after Ali's appointment as successor heavily implies that his leadership was integral to the faith's fulfillment.
It is. It's not just a political choice.
Right.
It's a divinely ordained necessity.
Wow.
So you see, the Quran lays out this profound groundwork. But the paper goes even deeper.
Oh, yeah.
It explores the prophetic hadiths, right?
Right.
To further solidify this idea of divinely appointed leadership.
So it's not just about what's written, it's about how the prophet himself explained and lived those principles.
Precisely. And one of the most compelling hadiths in this regard is the hadith of the two weighty things, also known as hadith al-Thaqalain.
The one where the prophet says, "I leave among you two weighty things, the book of Allah and my al-Bayt. If you hold on to them, you will never go astray."
That's the one. This hadith beautifully emphasizes the importance of following both the Quran and the Prophet's family, with Ali being the head of the al-Bayt.
Right.
It's about understanding the Quran through the lens of those who are closest to the Prophet.
It's a powerful call to stay connected to those sources of guidance. And there's another striking hadith, the hadith of Manzazah.
Yes.
I love that one.
Where the Prophet compares Ali to Harun, the brother of Prophet Musa, saying, "O Ali, you are to me as Harun was to Musa, except there is no prophet after me." It's an incredibly profound analogy.
It draws this direct parallel.
It does.
Between two divinely chosen successors. Just as Harun was appointed by God to support and succeed Musa.
Exactly.
Ali is designated as the rightful successor to Prophet Muhammad.
Yeah. It's not just about their actions, or their qualities. It's about the divine nature of their roles. Their divinely ordained purpose.
But the paper doesn't stop at the Quran and Hadiths.
No.
It also dives into Ali's personal qualities.
Exactly.
To further strengthen the case
Yeah.
for his leadership.
Yeah.
For instance, he was known as the Gate of Knowledge because of his deep understanding of Islamic teachings.
And there's a beautiful hadith that encapsulates this perfectly.
Okay.
"I am the city of knowledge, and Ali is its gate." It positions Ali, as this conduit.
Wow.
To access the Prophet's wisdom.
That's a really powerful image.
Yeah.
And then there's the fact that Ali was born inside the Kaaba.
Yes.
The holiest site in Islam.
An event that has never occurred, before or since.
Yeah.
Marking it as something truly unique and extraordinary.
It's almost like a sign from above.
Exactly.
Yeah. And let's not forget that he was the first male to accept Islam.
Yes. This unwavering faith.
Yeah.
From such a young age. Speaks volumes about his spiritual connection.
It does.
It highlights his profound understanding of the message.
Right.
And his unwavering belief, in its divine origin.
It's like he wasn't just a follower. He was a confidant, a pillar of support for the Prophet from the very beginning.
Exactly.
And beyond his knowledge and faith, Ali was renowned for his courage, his compassion, and his unwavering sense of justice.
Remember the Hijra, the migration to Medina?
Yeah.
Ali risked his life sleeping in the Prophet's bed to protect him.
Wow.
From potential assassins.
Oh, wow.
This act of selflessness, perfectly embodies that Quranic verse. Among the believers are those who have fulfilled their covenant with Allah.
A true testament to his loyalty and his unwavering commitment to the nascent Muslim community.
Yeah.
And his compassion was just legendary.
Yes.
His famous quote, "People are of two types, either your brother in faith or your equals in humanity."
Powerful.
Showcases this universal ethic.
Yeah.
This belief in the inherent worth of every individual.
Exactly. It's a timeless message that resonates even today.
It does.
Reminding us to see the humanity in everyone, regardless of their beliefs or their background. So as you can see, the paper meticulously constructs this case for Hazrat Ali's divine appointment. It uses the Quran, the Hadiths, and even Ali's own exemplary qualities.
Right.
To paint a picture of someone uniquely equipped to lead the Muslim community.
Yeah.
after the prophet.
It really does highlight like the depth and breadth of his character
Yes.
and how it aligned perfectly with the immense responsibility of leadership.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's this foundation
Right.
that sets the stage for this concept of Nass, this divinely guided process of succession
Right.
that distinguishes the Ismaili Imamate.
Let's dive into that concept of Nass next and see how it unfolds throughout history.
Yes, let's. Welcome back. You know, it's fascinating to delve into this idea of Nass, the divinely guided succession process that ensures the continuity of the Imamate.
You know, what really struck me about Nass
Yeah.
is that it takes the decision of who becomes the next imam out of human hands. It does.
It's not about lineage or politics or anything like that. It's about, divine will.
Precisely. The imam doesn't choose his successor.
Right.
It's a divine command, guided by the Nur, the divine light, that determines who is best suited to lead the community.
So it's like a divine revelation, a spiritual guidance that ensures the right person is chosen at the right time.
Exactly. And what's even more remarkable is that the Nur, this divine light and authority, is believed to transfer to the new imam the very moment the previous imam passes away.
So there's no gap, no break in that chain of spiritual leadership.
Absolutely not. It's an immediate transfer, ensuring that the flow of divine guidance remains uninterrupted. This concept of an unbroken chain, it's really central to the Ismaili Imamate.
It's like a constant thread connecting the generations, linking back to that original source of divine knowledge and wisdom.
And this brings us to the role of the imam as the bearer of that Nur, the one who illuminates the spiritual path for his followers. You know, when I was reading through the source material, what fascinated me was how this concept of the imam as a guide connects back to the Quran. Verse 24.35 describes Allah as the light of the heavens and the earth.
Yes.
And it's like that light is manifested through the imam, making divine guidance accessible to humanity.
That's a beautiful way to put it. The imam acts as a bridge between the divine realm and humanity, bringing that divine light into the world. And this connection is further emphasized, in a hadith where the prophet states, Ali and I are from the same light.
So it's like that same Nur present in the prophet was passed down to Hazrat Ali and continues through the lineage of imams.
Precisely. It's this concept of spiritual inheritance, a transmission of divine authority that makes the imam's role so unique.
Right.
The imam isn't just a figurehead, he's a spiritual teacher, guiding his followers on both the outward practice of faith and the inward journey of spiritual understanding.
It's this idea of the esoteric and the exoteric
Right.
that I found really intriguing. The paper talks about the imam's guidance on two levels. The batan, which is the inner esoteric dimension, and the zahir, which is the outward exoteric aspect.
Yeah, it's a crucial distinction. The imam guides the murids, the followers, on both levels.
Okay.
He provides guidance on how to live their lives in accordance with Islamic principles. That's the Zahir.
Right.
But he also helps them delve deeper into the spiritual meaning behind those principles to connect with the essence of their faith. That's the baton.
It's like having a guide for both the map and the terrain. You need to know the rules of the road, the Zahir, but you also need someone to help you navigate the inner landscape of your soul, the baton.
And the imam, as the bearer of the Nur, is uniquely equipped for this dual role. He's not just a leader, he's a teacher, a mentor, helping his followers navigate the complexities of life and faith. The paper even describes the imam as the living Quran, the Quran in Atiq.
Now, when I first read that, I have to admit I wasn't entirely sure what it meant. What does it mean for the imam to be the living Quran?
It's a beautiful concept that links back to the prophet being the speaking Quran, the embodiment of the Quran's message. In a similar way, the imam embodies the essence of the Quran and helps unlock its deeper meanings for his followers.
Right.
He provides the context, the interpretation, the guidance that allows the murids to truly understand and live by the Quran's teachings.
So the imam helps to bridge the gap between the written word and the lived experience of faith.
Exactly. And this is where the concept of ta'wil comes in, the esoteric interpretation of the Quran. The imam uses ta'wil to reveal the hidden meanings, the layers of wisdom within the Quran that might not be accessible through intellect alone.
So it's not just about reading the words, it's about understanding the deeper spiritual truths they point towards. And this guidance through ta'wil is what allows murids to progress on their spiritual journey.
Precisely. It's about moving beyond the literal and into the realm of spiritual understanding. And the imam, as the living Quran, is the one who guides them on this journey.
It's like the imam holds the key to unlock the deeper spiritual treasures hidden within the Quranic verses.
And this leads us to the concept of baya, the spiritual allegiance that murids pledge to the Imam.
Okay.
This allegiance is more than just obedience. It's a deep spiritual connection, a recognition of the Imam's spiritual authority, and a commitment to his guidance.
It's like entering into a sacred covenant, a partnership in the pursuit of spiritual enlightenment.
Exactly. It's about trusting the Imam's guidance, seeking his wisdom, and striving to live a life in accordance with the principles he embodies. This relationship is about guidance, about mentorship, about a shared journey towards spiritual growth.
And this brings us back to the process of Nass, that divinely designated selection process that ensures this spiritual guidance continues uninterrupted.
You see, because the succession is guided by the Nur, by divine will, it removes the potential for conflict or power struggles. The current Imam doesn't choose his successor based on personal preference or familial ties. The decision is made by a higher power, ensuring that the most spiritually fit individual is chosen to lead the community.
So it's not just about continuity. It's about ensuring the spiritual integrity of the Imam.
Precisely. And this divinely guided process has been in place for over 1,400 years, resulting in a lineage of Imams who have not only guided the community spiritually, but have also made significant contributions to the world at large.
That's what I find so inspiring about the Ismaili ummah, this commitment to service, to making a tangible difference in the world.
Absolutely.
It's not just about personal piety, it's about translating faith into action, into positive change.
Let's delve into those contributions next and see how the Imams have used their platform, their guidance, and their resources to uplift and empower communities around the world. Welcome back to our deep dive. You know, we've really covered a lot of ground, from the theological foundations of the Imamate to the concept of Nass, the Imam's role as a spiritual guide.
Yeah, it's been really fascinating.
And I think, you know, what's been truly inspiring for me, at least, is to see how those spiritual principles really translate into action.
Yeah.
You know, how the Imams have, over the centuries, made these tangible differences in the world.
Right.
Throughout history.
Yeah, and, you know, it's that legacy of service, that commitment to improving the lives of others that I find so remarkable. It goes beyond just words.
It does.
You know, it's about putting faith into practice.
Yeah.
Making a real difference in the lives of people, you know, all over the world.
And what's fascinating is how this commitment to service has really been woven into the very fabric of the Ismaili Imamate.
Yeah.
For over 1,400 years, you know. This isn't a recent development.
No.
No, it's an integral part of the tradition.
Right.
It's this understanding that faith isn't just about personal piety.
Yeah.
It's about contributing to a better world.
Right.
About uplifting and empowering communities.
It is. It is. And I think that's where we see the Imams not just as spiritual leaders,
yeah,
but also as like visionaries, as pioneers in fields like, you know, education, healthcare, poverty alleviation,
absolutely,
pluralism, you know.
All of that. And I think, you know, you brought up the Aga Khan Development Network, the AKD, and I think that's a perfect example of this commitment and action.
Yeah.
You know, it's this network of agencies working across the globe to address some of the most pressing challenges facing, you know, humanity.
Yeah. And the work is truly remarkable. I mean, from building schools and hospitals to, you know, supporting economic development, promoting cultural understanding.
It's a testament to the Imam's vision of a world where, you know, everyone has the opportunity to thrive, regardless of background or beliefs.
Yeah, and what strikes me is how that work transcends religious boundaries.
It does.
It's not just about serving the Ismaili community.
Yeah.
It's about improving the lives of people of all faiths and backgrounds.
It's about recognizing that shared humanity, that interconnectedness, and working together to create a more just and compassionate world. And this commitment to service, you know, it isn't limited to those grand gestures or large-scale initiatives.
Yeah.
It's also about the small acts of kindness, the everyday efforts to make a difference in the lives of those around us.
It's about embodying those principles of compassion and generosity in our daily interactions, you know, how we treat others, how we contribute to our communities.
And this, I believe, is the enduring legacy of the Ismaili Imamate.
Yeah.
This understanding that faith is a catalyst for action.
Right.
A call to serve humanity, to make a positive impact on the world.
It's been incredible exploring this, you know, rich and fascinating tradition.
It has.
From the concept of Nass ensuring a continuous flow of divinely guided leadership to the role of the Imam as a spiritual guide and a beacon of service, the Ismaili Imam offers such profound insights into the power of faith to inspire and uplift.
And with the appointment of the 50th Imam, Shah Rahim al-Husseini, This legacy continues, carrying forward this tradition of spiritual guidance and service into the future.
And as we wrap up this deep dive, I really encourage you to kind of reflect on what we've discussed, to consider how these principles might resonate in your own life. How can we as individuals embody those values of compassion, service, continuous learning? How can we contribute to building a more just and compassionate world? These are questions worth pondering.
They are.
And I hope this deep dive has given you some food for thought. Until next time, keep seeking, keep learning, and keep the spirit of exploration alive.